Hello and welcome to The Right to Think. This is my very first video. This is a channel where I'll be talking about the latest and the most viral political news in our country, uh, domestically or internationally. And unless you've been living under a rock, I'm sure you've heard by now the healthcare scheme going on in Minnesota by the Somalians. When Nick shared this on his feed, his X post has gotten 127 million views as of the recording of this video. This was maybe a couple days ago. Now everybody's talking about it, and it just seems right that I start my first video with a video like this. This is gonna be a banger.
To ask where the money's going. What do you guys think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
I don't think anybody is enabling fraud to happen.
Hold Governor Walz accountable for this.
What was this money spent on? 1.26 million. What was that money spent on? There aren't any kids.
Answer the question. Are there children? There's no children inside this building. Potentially the largest fraud scandal in U.S. history is taking place in Minnesota, as literally billions of dollars have been funneled through Somali-ran fraudulent businesses. So much fraud, it could actually almost replace the entire GDP of Somalia. These fraudsters have worked hand in hand with the Minnesota government as they enabled billions of dollars to be given to fraudulent businesses underneath welfare purposes. Some of this money eventually landed in the hands of terrorist groups in Somalia like the Al-Shabaab, and others enriched themselves all at the U.S. taxpayers' expense. And in this video we will break down all of the fraud from start to finish, from going to the fraudulent businesses and confronting the people who are making millions of dollars from the government. And we will also be confronting the incompetent government leaders who let this fraud happen. And to make this happen, I met up with a man who's been doing his own investigation for years now, as he has seen the fraud firsthand. His name is David. Let's get into this and be prepared to be shocked. How deep is this fraud here inside of Minnesota?
It is far worse than anybody can imagine. You heard it's 7 to 10 billion and maybe more, and now the numbers have been revised and put out there publicly that they think it's more like 8 billion. How I got involved is that where my office is here in Minneapolis, I'm sort of in the heart of all of this fraud, and I would see these child care centers. I said, well, there aren't any kids there. It's the middle of the day, and all I see are a couple of guys standing out front smoking. And then I'd go by another daycare, and I'd see the same thing. I said, well, where do these kids play? And so I started to go online and look, and I said, this place is licensed for 80 children. They had 0 children. Every time I went by there, they never had a single child there. Then I started to see all these transportation companies going around, and it was always a Somali driver. And I said, well, that's great. They're out there transportation contributing, but they never had a passenger, never, ever once. And I said, well, what is all this transportation? What are they doing? So then I found out that in Minnesota, they have something called non-emergency medical transportation. So this is going to the dentist's office, therapy, whatever it might be. And I said, well, how many of these companies are there? And the research came back that there are 1,020 of them, and more than 800 of them are Somali-owned. Nobody from the state of Minnesota ever crossed.
This corruption is so deep, just from what this gentleman David is explaining. Everything is out in the open. Anyone that wants to just take a look at it are seeing the fraud, the blatant fraud that is displaying in front of everybody. This corruption goes really deep. Will not be surprised if Tim Walz have actually something to do with it. Obviously, I do think he has something to do with it. I mean, even if he doesn't have anything to do with it, he's just blissfully ignorant when it comes to this, right? But I don't believe it. I think he's got something to do with it, along with the mayor. I believe his name is Frey something, Jeffrey Frey. It will come back to me.
To see if any rides were ever actually provided. All they did was write the check.
So right here we have all this paperwork. And how are you getting all this information about the fraud?
A lot of it is through my own research, and then I have some contacts at the Capitol going back many, many years. And so the data that I'm getting is 100% accurate, coming directly from research done by people at the state capitol.
All this paperwork right here, what are we looking at?
The areas of fraud that I have numbers for are mostly related to childcare. This is massive fraud that is beyond anyone's imagination, the scope. And so, for example, there's a childcare not far from here in Minneapolis that has two childcares listed at the same address, and together they're licensed supposedly for 120 children. I have never seen a single child there ever, and I've been by that place at least 100 times.
These Somalians, these groups are setting up these daycares, these childcare centers, getting money from the government, but there's no kids.
No kids. Never had any of them. They're all fraught with violations, and even though they have these violations, they're still in operation and they're still getting money. And it's millions of dollars for.
Yep, the Minneapolis mayor's name is Jacob Frey. I just remembered, and just wanted to say that. Also, listening to Nick and David here, I mean, it is so fraudulent what's going on in Minnesota right now. It is, and again, I'm not the one that says let's just deport everybody. Let's just, everybody that is illegal, even though I would love for that to happen. We did vote for that, but I understand that is not going to be realistic. But in this case, in the Minnesota, the fraud case, everyone that is involved in this scam, if you're a naturalized citizen or legal citizen, you should be denaturalized and be sent back. This is just blatant. This is destroying the fabric of our country. And no, I don't care what the left says. I don't care what CNN says. I don't care what MSNBC says. This is not racism from the Trump administration. If you hear all these stories and all you can deduce is that it's racism, have your brains checked. You are extreme liberal, and you probably are a member of the LGBTQ. That's all I gotta say.
Every one of them, every year.
And who's getting the money? And where are they getting the money from?
So we have a thing called CCAP. It's a blend of federal and state money. The bottom line is it's taxpayer money, so it's state money and it's federal money. And the problem is the people at the state of Minnesota are the ones writing the checks. This is kind of the maddening thing is you have daycare, so you have adult daycare, and then you have child care, and then you have health care. And a lot of these same names keep coming up on all of these different types of businesses. And then, of course, we have the transportation, and a lot of those same names appear, a lot of the same addresses. There's one building that has 14 Somali healthcare companies at the same address. There's another building in St. Paul that has 22 Somali healthcare businesses at the same address.
And the government knows about this.
The government knows they're writing the checks. Yeah, the Democrats over there just writing the checks. What has happened is that the Somali community is a very closed community. They will not speak to anyone outside the community and talk about what's going on within the community. They vote as a block. And so when you're a politician, you're saying, look, I've got 100,000 people in Minnesota that if I do something for the community, they're going to vote for me. And that's what it's all about, is getting the votes. And then the people here in Minnesota, you hear this term, Minnesota nice. I'm so sick of that term. The people here are so afraid of being called a racist or an Islamophobe. And they're afraid of their own shadow. And I don't understand. This is
This is just insane. I'm listening to this and I'm just going, well, we all know politicians would do anything for a vote. But when you have to basically kiss a group of people because you know there's 100,000 of them that is going to be voting the same thing, and you got to do something, that is just, I don't even know what to say about that. That is insane. That is, how can we live with something like that? I guess, I mean, in a way, I guess it's good that they all stick together, right? But when they're all sticking together for something bad, then you have politicians like Jacob Frey and Tim Walz who would just do anything to please them just to get that vote. Then what are we doing? What are we doing? And this is not just, a little scam here and there. This is literally talking about billions of dollars in scams. And then, as David is mentioning here, the government knows about all this. I mean, they are the one who's cutting the check. So what are we doing here? I mean, I don't know. All I see is literally Trump is going to have to somehow come in with some executive order and just get rid of all of this and deport everyone that has something to do with this scheme. This sounds mean, but what is there else to do? I mean, this is going on for years, by the way. I remember hearing something like this a long time ago, but I never thought it was this bad. Anyways, let's get back to the video.
Our future generations are going to have to pay for all this fraud, and they just want to bury their heads in the sand and go on and just not worry about it. Tim Walz saying there's organized crime in Minnesota. What did he do about it? Nothing. You got organized crime? What are you doing? This is the Minnesota law which mandates that anyone who knows of fraud and is a state employee must report that fraud. It's Minnesota Statute 3.971, Subdivision 9. Not only that, but Walz is also guilty of misconduct of a public employee. When I look at the world as a whole, and I look at fraud, the Twin Cities is ground zero. The fraud is worse here than anywhere else ever in history. Anywhere.
We're going to confront these people. We're going to go to these daycare centers. We're going to see what's actually happening.
Okay, so we have to be careful because these people are very violent. They're exceptionally violent.
Now, with all of David's evidence, we headed out to the streets of Minneapolis to see how much fraud we could uncover.
All right, here we go. We're going to hit the street now. Let's go.
Only gets more from here. Make sure you stay till the very end of this video to see exactly how much fraud we find by the time we are done. And before we go to the next location, I want to show you something super interesting about the flags of Minnesota. And here in Minnesota, if you take a look at the Minnesota state flag, they recently changed it, and it very much so resembles the flag of Somalia. And really quick, I want to tell you guys about the sponsor of this video, Opus Clip. What used to just be an AI clipper has now become the most powerful AI growth tool for back into the video. Now we're going to the next daycare center. How much money has this one generated?
This one, in fiscal year 2025, $1,042,059. In fiscal year 2024, $1,059,078. And in fiscal year 2023, $727,336.
Almost $3 million in just this one location, guys. Who knows how many locations there are? This is absolutely insane.
This next one is literally one block away, and this one's also generated nearly $3 million in the past 3 years. Let's see if there's any children. Let's see if any of the buildings are open. Here we go. Alright, we've arrived to ABC Learning Center. All the windows are blacked out. Let's see if anybody is here. This door is locked.
This facility is licensed for 40 children. 0 children. I've come by this place 100 times. I've never seen a child here, ever. The only thing I've ever seen is someone standing outside smoking.
What's crazy about this is that last daycare center is that green building right there. And the other daycare center right now is right here. These buildings should be operating as they're receiving literally millions of dollars. I knocked on the door, and to my surprise, somebody actually answered the door. Hello? Can we speak? I would like to check a child in the daycare. Can I speak to a manager? Where can I get paperwork to file for my son? I wanted to put my son Joey in daycare. And after a few questions, the lady went silent. Looks like little Joey Shirley ain't going to daycare here. And now where are we going?
Now we're going to Sweet Angel Child Care.
We're in the middle of a strip mall here inside of this neighborhood.
In fiscal year 2025, this facility, which shows its license for 74 kids, was paid $1.26 million in tax money. And there are no kids. And all the facilities
Tax money,
are the same
people.
way.
That's our
Let's see
money.
if anyone opens.
Yeah, let's see.
Once again, I tried to find a spot for my son Joey, and they would not open the door. I want to put my son Joey in daycare. Cause I need a spot to put my son Joey.
Yes.
Is this your daycare center?
It's funny that both times that Nick asked that he wants to put his son Joey into the daycare center, Both people just answered, why? What is that? I mean, they're not even try to disguise it as a fake daycare center. They just don't care. Well, actually, if you ask me, I don't even know if those people that are living in there actually know what's going on or what is happening, but it's shady as hell, regardless.
I just want to put a child in daycare, but all the daycare centers seem to be closed. No one's opening the doors.
You work here?
Yeah. What's happening?
Where are the kids?
Yeah?
It says it's licensed for 74 children. Right here, state of Minnesota. Where are the kids? They got paid $1.26 million in fiscal year 2025. It says they have a capacity for 74 children.
When?
Where are the kids? Right here. State of Minnesota website.
The more I watch a video like this guy going, what? What do you mean? How? Do these people actually don't know? Maybe they don't know themselves what's going on, how deep the scam goes? Or, I mean, I just don't see this guy, if he actually has anything to do with it, that he would just stand there. I don't think he has anything to do with it, but he look at the look in his face. He is surprised like they are, like Nick and David.
You work here and you don't know?
I don't know. I was there before. I don't know what's going on.
Were there any kids when you worked here?
He's there. Kids there. What's
How
up?
many?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah.
You worked here. Okay, well, then you're not of any help.
Can I put my son in the daycare here? Can I speak to someone? No. Yeah, I would like to see if I can put my son Joey here.
Who's your son, Joey?
My son Joey. Can I check out daycare center?
No! He don't got it. I'm the owner.
Do you put your kid here in this daycare? There is one child in there. Yeah, I'd like to know if this is a legit business.
Yeah, I'm scared of you too. How come I explain it to you?
You're scared of me?
Yeah.
Why?
So you cut it.
Because of my color.
Haha, of course, when all else fail is the white man.
You said you're scared of me because of my color. Does that make you a racist?
Yeah, no.
But you said you're scared of me because of my color.
I'm not saying you're racist.
You said you're scared of me because of my color. That makes you a racist. So right now, they're all getting mad because he's showing the paperwork of this business being registered as a business. 74 children, no children. We saw one child when the lady opened up the door. But now they're all getting mad.
What was this money spent on? 1.26 million. What was that money spent on? There aren't any kids.
Ask the owner. I'm the kids.
Well, then why are you talking to the owner if you're telling me to talk to the
I'm
owner?
sorry. I'm not understand what you're talking about.
Do you have a child here?
No.
Does anybody? Where are the 74 kids? Did you lose them? Did you lose these kids? Do I need to call someone? Do I need to issue an Amber Alert for missing children? Are these children missing? It's not my business that children are missing. 74 infants and toddlers, preschool.
The proof's right there. There's no children anywhere.
From the state of Minnesota, right here.
It's coming
Alright, I think we're moving on to the next location. Have a good day.
Wow, just wow. Well, let's see where they're going next.
The next daycare center, how much money has this one generated?
This one,
And there's no footprints in the snow of children playing outside. $5 million within the past
5.9
2
million in 2 years. 5.9 million they received in 2 years. That facility right there.
It's funny how this video is about daycare centers, and I have not seen a child to this point. It's all been a bunch of Muslim people just yelling about how ignorant they are and they don't know what they're talking about, so on and so forth. This is absolutely insane.
And now we have a group of Somalis telling us in our vehicle right now. From this daycare center, we headed over to the infamous Quality Learning Center, which actually spells Quality Learning Center.
Wow, they can't even spell learning. Quality Learning Center. Well, if that's not a giveaway.
On the outside of their sign, that's how blatant this fraud is here at this daycare. So this is Quality Learning Center. I meant to say Quality Learning Center. They said they spelled learning wrong.
Don't open up!
How do you have ice here, ma'am? I'm literally a YouTuber.
Don't open up!
Ma'am, what do you think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Don't open up! We have
Of course, white liberal, anything they don't like, they start yelling nonsense. Like this lady here yelling ICE.
Yeah, what do you think about this place being licensed for 99 children
Don't open up!
and getting $4 million over the
Open up! It's ice!
$4 million in the last 2 years?
Go away!
What do you think about that? Are you in favor? Are you in favor of that?
Go away! You're not welcome here!
you-
Shame on you!
Are you in favor of $1.9 million going illegally,
Open up!
fraudulently to this business that has quality learning center but can't even spell learning right on the door?
Don't open up!
Ma'am, we are not ICE.
I don't care who you are, you don't belong here.
I belong here just like you belong here.
Don't open up! It's up!
She just said, I don't care who you are, you don't belong here, so she just randomly called any white person ICE. I'm telling you, white Karens are the worst.
You do realize that there's supposed to be 99 children right here at this building, but there's no one here. This is a child daycare center.
99 children. Paid $1.9 million this year in CCAP funding. Do you know where the children are? Were they kidnapped? Did they run away? Where are the children? This is state of Minnesota. Right here.
And who are you?
My name's Nick Shirley, ma'am.
And who are you with?
Nick Shirley. Nick Shirley on YouTube.
Yeah, so who are you with here?
Oh, he's just been doing some research investigating the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota.
Nick Shirley.
This lady, she's just calling us ICE. We're just trying to put law and order back in the streets of the United States. Get rid of all the fraud. Have you ever seen children at that daycare center right there? Yeah, it's right there. It says the child. You've never seen daycare.
I haven't seen anybody there.
We're going to educate you on something. So what do you think about this daycare center? They spelled learning wrong. They've received over $1.9 million this year alone, and they're supposed to have 99 children here.
I don't see it.
Have you ever seen any children here?
None, not at all. None.
This year they got 1.9 million. Last year they got 1.5 million of your tax money for 99 children. We just want to know where are the kids?
Right?
Where are the children?
I don't see them. I've been here since 2017. I haven't seen anybody like
Never
that
seen
here.
a child
No,
here.
not at all.
And so you've never seen a child here for 8 years.
Nope, not at all.
And how does that make you feel knowing that this place is receiving $1.9 million?
This guy hasn't seen a child there for years. How long has this scandal, this scam been going on? Wow.
Disgusting. I mean, what the hell? They stealing the money. That's a federal grant too. That's, if they get caught for that, it's a federal offense. I know. I studied law.
And do you think Tim Walz should go to jail for all the fraud that he's enabled here in his state?
That's him doing this? Oh, heck yeah.
Tampon Tim should be investigated at the very minimum. And if the crime fits and he has something to do with it, I hope he goes to the slammer just like anybody else. We gotta put some of these people as an example. Otherwise, fraud like this is gonna continue to go on. Unfortunately, I do not think Trump would have the balls to do this. That's another story. The whole let's drain the swamp thing since 2016. Not a lot draining of the swamp has been going on. In case you don't know, I am a Trump supporter, but lately I have been a little disappointed.
He's got to be held accountable for this. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason what's going on here. It's simple. It's nothing there. It's a parking lot.
And look, they even spelled learning wrong on their sign for a place that's supposed to be educating children. Bunch of different places. Healthcare here, healthcare here, another healthcare company right here. There are 3 healthcare companies inside of this building right here in this room of 7C. Now we have another Helping Hands, Home Care LLC, another healthcare company. Present Help right here. We're looking for the best rates of healthcare here inside this building because we have so many options. Who can we talk about getting the best healthcare? No? Alright. We will not get any healthcare here. David, this is one of the stranger places I've ever been. Literally, healthcare every door you go to, yet nobody will give you a rate. How much money do you think's been funneled through this building?
every year. I would say 50 to 60 million at least.
And finally, we were accepted
$78
into a
million,
daycare center
an
to
entire
actually
building
get
of
information
healthcare.
from us a rate. However, when we left, we were then met with the police.
We received a complaint that someone mentioned your description were in this building harassing the individuals who stay here.
Oh, we're checking out the rates for healthcare. Because there's 14 healthcare companies inside this building, so.
That's not what he said. He said there's 14 companies here, and he's trying to assume because they're Somali providers, everyone is fraudulent.
Okay. So we're,
He's here with some kind of like propaganda.
no, we're just checking.
No, this is a area that we're allowed to enforce trespassing ordinance. Is there any other reason you guys are here?
Well, we were checking rates.
No, he didn't.
We were checking rates. We asked for rates.
Okay. I'm gonna have, if you guys are all good, we're gonna step outside and continue this conversation.
All right, let's leave. So, all right, we're getting escorted out right now. The police have arrived. We're checking out the rates, seeing what was happening inside this building. No one would really speak with us. We did go inside.
Arrest that lady that just said, no, they're not. She is obviously protecting something.
The one daycare center, and she actually did give us rates for childcare. Much respect to that lady. What's the problem, officer?
Well, so again, we've been getting reports from now multiple individuals that you guys are harassing individuals who work here. At the end of the day, this is private property, and it's one that people are allowed to ask you to leave, and it's also one the Minneapolis Police Department is allowed to enforce trespassing ordinance at this address.
Yeah.
So
As we got escorted out of this building, the Somalis filmed us as we left, and we headed over to the next building that had 22 of the same home health care providers operating from inside of the building. Right here you have multicultural home care. And right here it says it's open, but can't even get in. Another Reliance Recovery Center. Mercy and Grace Care, Inc. Right here you have Denden Eritrean Youth Development Association of Minnesota. Another child care center. Welcome to Bright Beginning Center. But what do you guys think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Sorry. No comments. Can I please?
Right here you have Serenity Quality Care. All of these businesses are literally the same type of business providing the same service in the same building. Another Convenience Home Health Care, Aid, Inc. and Child Friendly Space. All these companies get money from the government. Why would you have the same company essentially inside of the same building, door to door? Right here, Queenly Home Health Care. It just does not make sense. If you were trying to operate a business, you'd want to have less competition. But here, they have all of their competition right next door. We're wondering because we hear there's lots of Capitol, where they're having a meeting about the fraud to confront the state representatives and people in the government who have enabled and let this fraud happen. Inside of this committee, a Republican representative showed charts showing exactly how this fraud has been committed and who is profiting and connecting all the dots. And while the Democrat representatives looked into the abyss, one of them spoke about how none of this is building trust and how this is a nonpartisan issue, so I went and confronted her after that. He has some very valid questions to ask about what's going on here in Minnesota. And do you think this fraud
I don't know who
crosses?
you are.
My name is Nick Shirley. Do you think this fraud is Republican or Democrat, or just facts that fraud is happening?
I think the fact that
Because
that is a partisan issue.
because that's what I heard you talking about. That
I know what I said is that
because
we're talking
we want to build trust, but fraud is fraud. So why should we be enabling fraud to happen here?
No, I don't think anybody is enabling fraud to happen.
Hold Governor Walz accountable for this.
Okay, sir.
No. This
Sir,
is not,
sir.
When are you going to hold Governor Walz? No. She is a representative for the state of Minnesota. Yes or no?
Excuse me?
Yes, are you-
If you're going to talk to me like
Are you going to
that,
say to her, I'm a disability advocate?
I heard you,
I'll
and I
get
you got a chance
overstimulated.
to testify.
Ma'am, the facts are the facts that fraud is happening here, and it's not a nonpartisan issue. How come you think fraud has been able to happen so much underneath?
I think if you've
government
been
here.
listening to our hearings, we've had now 10 hearings on this. And so there's really good data from the people who both work within the administration as well as who, both Democrat and Republicans. I think what you heard today is that the Republicans who control this committee are not actually interested in solving fraud. What they're interested in is telling a story.
This fraud has happened underneath Democrat leader Tim Walz.
There has been Medicaid fraud across the country under Democrats and Republicans. There's fraud within the Trump administration. We have as fraud. Public-private providers have made government a mark.
Sadly, I do agree with her. there's fraud in both left and right. It's just that I think there's more fraud on the left, but the right has a lot of fraud as well. This is where I tell you that I'm also disappointed in Trump. Trump talked a lot. He did a lot. Don't get me wrong. He did a lot. I mean, securing the border and all this stuff, right? But he did not as much as what he has promised. Now, do I still think he's doing a good job? Yes, I still think he's doing a good job. For what he has been provided with, he has been doing great. I still don't see how any Democrat would have a candidate that would do anything near what Trump has done without injecting all this LGBTQ or the BLM or the talking points into it. So with that said, you know, Trump, let's see if Trump can actually do something about this fraud. I mean, comment below if you think someone will go to jail. How many of you think that Governor Walz will go to jail or at least investigated? How about the Minneapolis mayor, Jacob Frey? Is he going to be investigated? Can he go to jail? How deep is this? I heard from Kash Patel that he said there has been arrest made, like 70 something arrests made, but this is involving thousands and thousands of people for billions and billions of dollars in scam. So with that said, comment below, will anything be done about this scam? Will any Somalian be deported, denaturalized, etc., etc.?
And so every person running government, Democrats or Republicans, are dealing with the issue of how to keep fraudsters out of our public payment. We're also dealing with veterans. We're dealing with consumers. I hope you're looking at that. If you look at United Health, currently is being charged with defrauding Medicare. You know who runs Medicare? President Trump. Medicaid fraud is a 50-state issue. And so, again, it is not a partisan issue. There are Democrats and Republicans who are sitting in that committee talking about it. But what you did here was the Republican chair say she's not turning information over to the one person in government who can stop payment. And I hope you print that. Thank you for coming.
Okay. Well, it's all up in there.
That we live in, and these politicians are just walking off, thinking it's okay Tuesday, and they want to go visit the Trump. They want to blame the Trump administration. We have Democrats
Whoever this dude is, I like him.
blaming ICE. I'm tired. My people are suffering. I'm scared for my little brother. My people are suffering, and these people just walk off. We have a governor. He doesn't care. How many more people are gonna freaking die? How many more people are gonna go homeless? And how many more people are gonna get trafficked in our freaking system?
Well, thank you guys for watching my first video. Comment below if you think anything will be done about this fraud, this scheme going on with the Somalians. Is Republican going to step up and do something about it, or are they going to be all talk and no walk like always? Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you like it, and also put some comment down below. My first video, constructive criticism is welcome. Good night, guys.